So we finally got ourselves the actual play that caused Jamar Chase to get fined 20 grand last week. So this is back-to-back weeks now. Actually, no, not back-to-back weeks, excuse me. Week 2, he got fined $30,000 for verbal abuse against an official. And then last week, he got fined for this. This was considered a violent gesture during his touchdown celebration. So he scores a touchdown, right? Okay. He stops. And I'm going to just play this part right here. He stops. He puts his hands up. Just like that. Obviously, there's a flag on the play. And that is why he's putting his hands up. Like, hey, what's the flag? Is it on me? Is, you know, just a typical thing. And then he does the gritty, right? He gritties a little bit. Slaps up with our boy T. Higgins. Does a little thing like that. And that is $20,000 right there. If you're asking, what did he do wrong? I think you and most of America will be asking that same question. Like, and you know what the funny thing is? Usually when they find a player, they tell the player right away, like, hey, listen, this is what you did wrong. This is what you messed up. This is what I need you to do better in the future. You can't do this action again. Man, like, you should have known better. You can't do this said thing, right? And the player can appeal it like Chase did his first fine. But for the most part, it's like, hey, not fun league, but whatever. I get it. You know, I can't do that thing. What did he do exactly? Like, I really do not understand. Scores touchdown. Puts hands up because there's a flag on the play. So he's like, oh, wait, what's the penalty? Like, is it on me? Like, is this bull crap and it's getting called back? Right? No, it's on them. He sees the coach on the sideline getting upset. He starts to gritty. Joe goes crazy. Everyone's going crazy. He's grittying. He goes up to T. He slaps it up. He daps it up. They put their arms out on the side. And then they go ahead and take off running. That's 20 grand. I mean, bruh. If you can't say the NFL, if you still think the NFL does not hate the Bengals, I don't know what to tell you at that point. Because that is actually nothing. Like, there isn't even a situation where you can tell me that something he did here is in any way considered bad. I mean, the only thing I could think of is this. Does he think, again, this is considered a violent gesture. So this is violence. He is acting in a violent way here. So is it because he put his hand up like that with his elbow and the referee, look at the referee in the background. He's like, oh my lordy. That man's tricep right there, that man's bicep is absolutely roided. Therefore, I feel like that is a violent offense against me. He maybe thought that this was violent. He was scared for his life. He almost caught his wife and children. Did you see that? A man has that much power in his tricep and bicep. Like, is that what happened? Did the referee just got absolutely demasculated? And he's like, you know what? I got demasculated by obviously a lot bigger man than me. So therefore, I am going to write the NFL and you are going to get fined for demasculating me. But because we can't say it like that, because that would make us sound like a bunch of bitches, we have to now say violent gesture. I mean, again, touchdown. The second it's touchdown, he puts his hands up. Maybe this is a violent gesture. Look at the referee. He's like, holy crap. I see what the other referee's about to see in a second. He sees a man with gigantic triceps. And he's like, dang, I can't have that. So I'm going to find this guy. I mean, like, again, there is no reason. He puts his hands up. Like, there's a penalty? What's the penalty? Like, is it on us? Is it on them? Is my touchdown not going to count? Like, he's curious. But you can't be curious in the NFL. Because that, my friend, is considered a violent gesture. Okay? Puts his hands down. Is the gritty a violent gesture? Maybe he grittied a tad bit too hard. Maybe the referee looked and said, hey, I can't gritty like that. And Chase said, I'm not teaching you. And not teaching a referee how to gritty, maybe that's a violent gesture. I don't know how they determine these so-called violent gestures, but I would assume they do it in a very stupid way. Because I guess this is, the only thing I can really think about is this is the thing. And if anything, T is the one that has his hand up like, and it looks like a fist. It might not be a fist. It might look like a fish. And it looks like that he has his hand up like that. And maybe that is what caught. But again, then why did T get fined? Why did just Chase get fined? It's like what's that wacky tacky thing? The world may never know. Or what's the center of the Tootsie Roll? The world may never know. Yeah, the world may never know why this was fine. Why this was a $20,000 fine. That's even more too, right? So, what's his name? Yoshi does a bow and arrow, right? Shoots a bow and arrow after the touchdown. Many players do it. The NFL goes, oh, you know what? I understand that many players does this, but Yoshi, you are fined for doing that bow and arrow. You cannot do that bow and arrow. Every other player can, but you cannot. You are going to be fined, I think it was like $5,000, right? He appeals it. The NFL comes out and says, oh, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't be fining you for that. Other players are doing it too. It's not really just you, right? Okay, that was considered a violent gesture because you were utilizing some type of violence with the bow and arrow. Okay? Whatever. Cool. That's $5,000. Okay? Which is him physically using, in a sense, a weapon. Okay? This, like, listen, I understand that people say, like, their arms, like, they say, welcome to the gun show, and they show their arms, like, you know, they flex, right? These aren't actual guns, though. Like, these aren't actually that. Like, this isn't welcome to the gun show, buddy. Look at his referee's face. He's like, oh, I can never replicate that. If I can't replicate that, I'm going to have to find this individual. Because how dare you have the arms like a goddess when I can't have anything like that? Like, bro, I don't get it. And I guess I won't get it. Chase still claims he doesn't get it. Nobody gets it. It is a age-old question that will never be answered. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. If you get it, definitely tell me down below, because I don't.